Welcome all. This is John Milton, Assistant Professor, Department of Microbiology, St.Joseph College of Arts and Science, Cuddalore. In this video lecture, we will discuss about biopesticide. What is biopesticide? One of the types of biopesticide and the important biopesticide based on agencies. Farmers, they are facing a lot of problem with the pest. About 40% of the loss to the farmers is due to the pest. To control these pests, the farmers they are starting to use a lot of chemical pesticides over their field. But the using of chemical pesticides create a lot of problems, and the problems are they can contaminate the surface aquatic habitats like nearby ponds, nearby lakes, nearby rivers. All these aquatic habitats can be affected, and there is chances of entering the groundwater ecosystem, and it also contaminates the soil and resist in degradations. They are usually slowly degrading components, or they are highly resistant to the degradations, and they also affect the beneficial microorganisms found in the soil and reduce the soil fertility, and may contaminate air by evaporations, and also during application, during spraying over the field. In this time, it may enter the air and contaminate the air. And enter the non-target vegetations, and that means other crops which are growing in the field, and other plants which are growing in the field, that is a non-target vegetation, that also can be affected. Affect the non-target beneficial insect like honeybees, butterfly, these are the beneficial insect. These may also be affected by these chemical pesticides. An important disadvantage is there is a chance of emergence of pesticide resistant pests. When we use a particular pesticide continuously, there is a chances of resistance development among the pests. That is the important disadvantages of chemical pesticides, and it affects the important fauna of soil like earthworm and other small animals which are growing in the soil. And the presence of pesticide residues in the agricultural and dairy products like milk and other products and cause carcinogenic and neurotoxic effect to the consumers, especially cancer like problems. So what is biopesticide? In India, about 80,000 tons of chemical pesticides are used per year. The problem of using chemical pesticide, the important problem is the development of pesticide resistant pests and residues in the agricultural and dairy products. To overcome this problem, to solve this problem, some natural materials derived from animals, plants, bacteria and certain minerals are used, and they are called as biopesticide and biological pesticide, also biological pesticide. The types of biopesticide. The first one is microbial biopesticides. It contains microorganisms as a active ingredients. It is a living preparation of microorganisms used to control the pest. They suppress the pest by following ways: producing a toxic component that is specific to the pest. It can control. It can cause a disease to the pest and control or kill. The preventing establishment of other microorganisms through competition for food and habitats. In these three ways, it can control the pathogenic pests or pathogenic microorganisms. The continuous monitoring is needed while we using biopesticide, whether they can cause any harmful effect to the human being. That is important. There is a chances of causing a toxic effect to the consumer also, to the human being also, because we are using the biopesticide, we are applying the biopesticide over the field, and also we are consuming, we are the consumers of the product. So we should continuously monitor whether the biopesticide cause any toxic effect to the human beings. The important biopesticide is the Bacillus thuringiensis. The plant pesticide, second type is plant pesticides. Usually the plants are created artificially by using genetic engineering techniques and create the plants with resistant to the pest. Example, BT brinjal, BT cotton, these are all the examples. BT means Bacillus thuringiensis. So here the genes from the Bacillus thuringiensis are excised and it is inserted into the plant cells and create the new plants. That is called as BT plants varieties. The third type of biopesticide is biochemical pesticide. Here, the naturally occurring substances like fatty acids, potassium bicarbonates, they are used as a biopesticide. They control the pest by non-toxic mechanisms such as interfering with the growth or mating process. Rather than killing, here we are controlling the population level, that is the main principle of these components. For example, insect pheromones are the naturally occurring or naturally producing components produced by the pest to attract its mate. This is to locate mates. But man-made pheromones are the chemical compound which are artificially produced and they are used to disrupt insect mating by creating confusions among the mates to search its mates for reproduction. In this manner, it can control the pest populations rather than killing. The advantages of biopesticide. What are the advantages of the biopesticide? We will see. They are inherently less harmful than the chemical pesticide. When compared with the chemical pesticide, they are less harmful or no harmful. They are more target specific than the chemical pesticide. Here, a particular pesticide will be only controlled, not all the kind of insect which are found over the field. So this is some advantages. They are often effective in small quantities. Only small quantities enough. Once we applied, if the condition is optimum for the microorganisms, it will multiply in the land, in the field, and will be found in the field for a long time. If the condition is optimum for the microorganisms, so little quantity is enough. They are decomposed very quickly. The biochemical pest, the plant and other materials will be decomposed very quickly. Disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of biopesticides? That the short shelf life. Once the optimum condition is not maintained, that means if the land is exposed to the sunlight or if the land is dried, the pesticide, the biopesticide organisms will be killed. Like limited field persistence, it cannot persist for a long period like chemicals. Narrower target range. This is one of the advantages and disadvantages also. It can control only specific pest, not all the kind of pest. Sometimes more than one kind of pest can infect a particular field. In these cases, it will not work. So this is one of the disadvantages. The slower action when compared with the chemicals. The actions, the killing rate is very slow. It takes time for killing. But for the chemical pesticide, once we apply it immediately within hours, within minutes, the pest will be killed. But here the action is very slow. So these are all the disadvantages of the biopesticide. Some important biopesticides are among the bacteria, the Bacillus thuringiensis, Bacillus subtilis, Bacillus papillae, Pseudomonas fluorescens are commonly used. Among the viruses, the baculovirus, nucleopolyhedrosis virus, granulosis virus are the common species used as a biopesticide. Among the fungi, Beaveria bassiana, Trichoderma vestigia, Trichoderma hericianum, Metarrhizum municipale, these are all the commonly used fungus as a biopesticide. The important bacterial biopesticide which are frequently used is the Bacillus thuringiensis. We will see what is the Bacillus thuringiensis, how they can control the pest. And these are all the things we will see one by one. So it is a gram-positive spore-forming soil bacterium. Spore-forming organism is one of the important characteristic feature of this species, and it is easily found in the soil, and it accounts for 90% of the biopesticide available in the market. Over 90% of the biopesticide which are available in the market is prepared from by using Bacillus thuringiensis. So it is first isolated by Japan scientist Sjctnc-Dr in the year of 1902 from diseased unhealthy silk worm and named as Bacillus Sjctnc. Later in the year of 1912, German microbiologist also isolated the same organisms from the insect and named as Bacillus thuringiensis. There are 500 to 600 strains of Bacillus thuringiensis are used. Approximately 525 insects of various orders have been reported to be infected by the Bacillus thuringiensis. This is the main reason for using these organisms produce variety of the biopesticide product, because about 525 insects which cause diseases which infect the plants which are commercially cultivated or infected by these single species of bacteria. That's why we are using this more and more. So how the Bacillus thuringiensis control the insect? Once we apply the Bacillus thuringiensis over the field, that will be ingested by the insect. So the ingestion of the spore-related Bacillus thuringiensis and crystalline protein. The crystalline protein is the product of the bacteria. That is the main reason for killing this bacteria, for killing this insect. So the spore-related bacteria, that means the bacterial spore along with the crystalline proteins are ingested by the insect. After ingesting the spore along with the crystalline protein, that will be solubilized in the midgut of insect. After solubilization, the crystalline proteins are converted into active fragments. That means they are sliced into pieces by the activity of protease into active fragments, and these active fragments are bind with receptors in the cell membrane of the midgut. After binding this active fragment over the membrane, that will form a small pores in the gut membrane and bursting of the epithelial cells, so by which it will collapse the digestive system of the insect. After it leads to death of the insect, because the insect cannot take up any food and it cannot digest any food. So because of these reasons, the insect died soon. So this is the mechanism of Bacillus thuringiensis over the insect. So these are all the things about biopesticide and Bacillus thuringiensis. Thank you for watching this video.